Hello everybody, welcome back to Throttle Grotto. Today I've got the 928 engine pretty much torn apart as far as I'm going to go with it. We'll check it out and start some reassembly. So I've been working on the 928 engine all day. I actually spent most of the morning working on the cylinder heads. And I've got these all cleaned up. You can see here that surface is all cleaned up, and I've got that surface all cleaned up. So these are pretty much ready to put back on with new gaskets. Pulled off the monstrous oil pan. That is the 928 oil pan, and I'm gonna swap out the screen. I've got one on the other side of the shop that's already cleaned, and as you can see in here, everything looks pretty clean. Not bad actually for a 40-year-old motor. There's a little bit of oil residue and stuff on here, but overall I'm gonna say this is pretty much overhauled, kind of like Vice Grip Garage would say. It's overhauled. It's pretty much ready to go. I'm working on cleaning the block. I'm tired of cleaning. I don't want to clean anymore. I have one spot here left to do and a couple of little hangers on there that haven't been done yet, but for the most part I think I've got one of these brackets that I've already cleaned up. I'll swap that out. As you can see over here, I have boxes of stuff that's all been cleaned. This all needs to go get cleaned. But all kinds of stuff that's already been cleaned and ready to go back in the car. So that's good. The cleaned oil pan is on with a new gasket. I still have seals and a water pump to put on the front. I still need to scrub down the mating surface for the head gasket and clean all this up. I've already blown a bunch of these out with compressed air, so this should all be okay. I still need to do a rear main seal, but that won't happen until the engine is actually sitting on the ground. So yeah, I'm just in the reassembly phase now, and everything's as clean as I'm going to get it. I'm really tired of cleaning. I've been cleaning pretty much all day, and it's good enough. Alright, so one of the things that I've heard about this car is that Porsche engineered this little slot in the crank so that you can pry the main seal out without needing a tool. So I'm going to give that a try. Apparently you can just pick a screwdriver in here and just pry the main seal out and change it. Alright, so I had a very long day yesterday, and apparently I forgot to set the stop motion stuff on the camera. So I missed out a bunch of putting this together, but here it is. It's actually a pretty clean engine now. You can see I haven't torqued the cylinder heads yet. That's one of my morning jobs here, is to torque the cylinder head down. So I have to make a way to hold the engine up here. So I'm going to figure that out, and then we'll get to torquing some cylinder heads. Alright, here's what I came up with. It's simple, hopefully effective. Yeah. Apparently it's just to keep tension, keep stress off of this part of the engine when you're torquing it, and also so the engine stand doesn't flip over. I think I'm going to move the beat out of the way and then start working. Okay, if you're forgetful like I am, I made myself this handy little visual aid so that I can move it from side to side or just look across the engine, but basically it's the torque sequence. So just matches the head bolts, tells me what order I need to go in, and then the torque values, so 14 foot-pounds, 36 foot-pounds, 65 foot-pounds, and then you wait 30 minutes and torque to 65 again. So that's all I'm going to do. Alright, so the heads are torqued now, and we're going to let this sit for about an hour, and then I'm going to come back and I'll retorque, and it will be interesting to see how much the torque, like the movement of the wrench, changes before it hits the torque setting with having it sat for an hour and compressing the gaskets. Alright, so it's been a little over an hour, closer to 2. And so let's check these and see how far each one of these turns. Sorry, I need my dumb tape. See how far each one of these turns to torque. That one turned just a little, not very much. Yeah, number 1 turned a fair amount, actually. Oh, this side's actually turning quite a bit. I'll see if I can get you guys to see what's happening here. See if I can line you up with a couple of the bolts. Show you guys the logo on my socket. So you can see how much that turned. I torqued it to 65 an hour or 2 hours ago, and after sitting, that's how much that gasket compressed. Let's check out the rest of these. Yeah, that's a significant amount. Alright, so the next step will be to put on the cam towers, which will make this engine massive. And what I've been working on in the meantime, I've been trying to prep the engine compartment by putting all the brake lines, all the extra stuff back in, because there's a lot of stuff I won't be able to reach. Unfortunately, I did not get the control arm bolts or the control arm bushings replaced, so these will be a struggle once the engine is in. Hopefully not, but yeah, they'll be a little bit of a challenge to get tightened up. Everyone, the engine is together, the garage is a mess, and I'm waiting still on a bunch of parts that I've ordered so that I can wrap up the front of the engine and then start putting the stuff that goes on the top of the engine on the car. Let me just kind of show you where things are at right now. So the engine is in. As you can see, it takes up the whole engine compartment. At least side to side. Front to back, I could probably still stand in there if I needed to. The oil tube still needs to go in. The water pump needs to go on. The power steering needs to go on. Alternator AC. The AC lines are here, ready to get connected. I got to get some new Viton rings for that. All of the stuff on the top end needs to be hooked up still. I've kind of got the wiring harness laid out where I think it needs to go. I got new plugs in here. I've got some new hoses for the cooling system that are ready to go on. Still need to find the other half of that 14-pin plug. It's in here somewhere. You're probably looking right at it, and I'm not. So anyway, I think I have to order another half of that. Oh, yeah, look at that. That kind of looks like the other, what the other half of that would be, which is non-existent. So I'm not quite sure how that gets to there. So things to research and learn. Yeah, I have a new rotor for that, but I'll wait to replace the rotor until I'm ready to put the radio, the distributor cap on. Yeah, and then I've got all new vacuum lines to run through here. I'll do all that when I'm ready to put the intake on. Yeah, slowly coming together. There's so many parts left to assemble. Yeah, good times. So that's all for this time. Until next time, get out there and work on something.